Hello, 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 everybody. We are back with more 999, and I should mention, since I have decided to split the videos up into like 2 videos, that means I'm only giving a greeting every other episode. But oh well,
Oh no.
whatever.
Just, like,
it's fine. That's
could you
just how
just,
it
like,
goes sometimes.
wedge an intro in there?
That's just how it
Oh.
goes sometimes. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. But last time we reached an ending. I got stabbed.
Yay!
It was so funny.
Yeah.
I went into my friend's server afterwards and I was like, "Hey, it was 999 night again. I got stabbed." And my friend was just like, "Yay!"
Yay, stabbing! Hooray!
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, indeed. I hope we get to see more meat.
Meet.
Meat.
Meat!
Wait.
Meat!
Yes, that means it is time for our second run through here.
And you'll have to go to the flowchart.
Yeah. Where?
No. It'll just like
Yeah, hit continue.
continue.
Yep.
Will just put you back to the very start
Yeah.
Yeah,
once
and
you've
then
cleared.
So you do have to get through the first cutscene, but then once you can open the menu, you can access the flowchart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Because for some reason, there's no skip option.
yeah. I mean, hey, you used to not be able to like utilize the flowchart at all.
Yeah.
You can't hit escape and.
No, I
skip it?
tried.
Okay.
I tried when I was playing earlier, and I was like, ah, damn it.
Well, maybe what we should do is we should go back to the very last choice and
There you
just
go.
start from there.
Menu.
Is that-
Flowchart. Okay, here we
Yeah. So all the way down.
So
And-
that one that has the lock on it is, I think we need something for that.
Okay.
go. So I did want to ask, is this the kind of game where in order to unlock the true ending, you have to get all of the others first?
You have to
Yes.
get one particular ending to get the true ending.
Okay.
Yes.
And I will not
That's-
tell you which route that is.
Well, the name of it is kind of vague, and it doesn't sound like what it actually means, but we'll hold off. So yeah, you can just pick a point to go to, honestly, at the
Yeah, if you
again.
want to start at the very beginning, you can. If you don't want to,
Yep.
it's up to you.
Yeah. And if you want to just go through the very beginning and try to get a bunch of more of the rooms done, like
Yeah.
puzzle solving.
Yeah, I
is
was
we could
thinking like
start
I want to do something
Yeah.
that's like a very different branch from what we did before. So
So we
Yeah.
could start at the very beginning, go up more. That one, the one at the
Yeah.
very top. And
All
then we can get through this, don't worry about it. And then go through the side. And then we can choose one of the ones that we haven't done
all right,
once we get to the next choice.
And it will show you which choices you already made.
Yeah,
cool.
they make it easy.
It'll be grayed out.
All right. So we are
I
at
thought we were finished with that
Yep.
topic.
the
I
first.
think there is a skip
set of
option,
doors.
if I remember correctly. If you tap the arrow at the bottom right, it'll skip
Then
all
what should we do?
all dialogue you haven't seen before.
We should talk it through.
Oh my god, enough! All we're talking won't
It's
solve
not-
anything.
it's not
should.
skipping.
We got 7.5 hours left. We already.
I think it's
Hmm.
there we go. Hit control
Control.
unless you're using a
Alright.
controller.
No, I'm not.
Very well then. There's only one
yeah,
way
just-
for us to proceed.
So tap it one more time.
Sure not gonna be fun running around knowing
That
you
didn't
gotta
do
jump.
anything.
Zero says jump.
see.
I know there's definitely an option to do it.
Yeah, I know
Just
there
sit
is
around
too.
here doing nothing.
Hang on.
Skip text. Control twice to enable the skip text feature.
Oh.
So like tap it.
Yeah.
Ah,
you go.
there we
Ooh.
go.
Now we're zooming.
Now we're zooming.
Yum. The only thing I have that indicates speed is chimp with impact. That's the sound of Junpei slamming into the door.
So this is just a question. You
Yeah.
can have Junpei be dumb if you want.
Let's have him be stupid, just for the sake of seeing something new.
Make him say two.
Ew. On your Rimpa.
Ew.
2.
When you
No,
don't have-
past door 4. Wait, hold on a second. Something's off.
Junpei ran the numbers again.
Plus 3 plus 6 plus 5 is 22. So, 22, 2 plus 2.
He needed a minute.
He's so stupid.
It's 4. Add up our 4 bracelet numbers and the digital root is...
Alright, so... So, this time we're going through door 5.
Yay! 5.
wait.
Do I have a...
You're looking for
No,
something
I
in the
only have-
soundboard.
I thought I had like the FNAF children cheering.
Oh, I have
Sound.
that.
Okay.
Let me find it. Give me a second. Oh god. The problem is my soundboard doesn't like to load everything for some
Oh.
reason.
Maybe mine's doing that. I mean, I've got.
Yeah, you can also
Yippee is
just
always
search-
good.
You could search the soundboard for sounds.
It only
Junpei's
shows
cry
the ones that
echoed across the room.
I thought I had it, but I don't know where it is. The
Okay.
soundboard menu likes to glitch for me, so
Too many sounds. The 4
Oh, here we
people
go.
walking toward the door stopped. And turned back toward him.
I want to go through door 5 too.
The words were scarcely out of his mouth when June spoke up.
What? What are you saying, Jumpy? If you're going through that door, then I'm going with you.
oh, I thought I had it. I guess I don't. Interesting.
Oh well. He turned around to look at her.
No, you can't. I can't take you with me.
Why?
We're... Oh, you know what's in there, don't you? Are you sure you want to see that?
Well,
June
It's
opened
just
her
meat.
mouth as if to say something. I mean, true, it is just meat at this point. But instead closed it again and looked at the floor. Junpei felt an ache in his chest at her clear distress, but the choice was not his to make. There was nothing else he could do. Junpei turned away from June, doing his best to silence his turbulent emotions.
Please, let me go into door 5.
Do I have permission to add sound effects? I don't think I do. Here, I'll send it to Newt.
Okay.
Seven scratched his head and looked at the young man.
Man, now we're right back where we started. You know that?
Junpei's bracelet is number 5, right? If we are going to add Junpei,
Damn
then we
it.
must subtract 5 from the rest of us.
Snake turned to Ace.
Ace, please, take good care of Clover.
Oh, all right. That's fine.
1 + 4 = 5.
don't go away.
You need to listen to me, Clover. Go to door 4 with the others.
No.
Don't be so selfish.
Snake's tone was harsh.
Why?
Tears welled up in Clover's eyes. She bit her lip and did her best to fight them off. Snake's expression softened, and he put his arms around Clover. He held her close and whispered into her ear.
You'll be fine. Just relax.
It looked as though he whispered 2 or 3 more words, but whatever they were, Junpei didn't hear them.
What did he tell her?
He couldn't help but wonder what the other man had said. Snake pulled back from his sister, his eyes kind and inquiring.
Okay, I understand.
Her voice was barely audible from where Junpei stood. Before long, new teams were assembled.
Let's make sure we've got this straight. Those going to door 5 are me, 7, and Snake. 7 plus 2 plus 5 equals 14. And the digital root of 14, 1 plus 4, is 5. And those going to door 4 are Lotus, Santa, June, Ace, and Clover. 8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 1 plus 4 is 22. And the digital root of 22 is 2 plus 2, 4. We're okay with this.
No problems here.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right then.
7, Snake, and Junpei scanned their numbered bracelets in quick succession. The screen of the red showed 3 asterisks.
The lever's all that's left. Okay. All right then. Let's go.
Junpei glanced around one last time, his hand resting on the lever of the red.
Okay, please be careful.
Concern was written plainly across her face.
We will.
We'll be fine, June. Junpei looked her in the eye and gave what he hoped was a reassuring nod.
We definitely won't get stabbed or anything. Because that's the other route. We already did that. We're
we
gonna
did
get
that
killed
one.
in some new and exciting way this time.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
He pulled the lever. With the sharp clack of a lock releasing, the door swung open.
And it's open.
Ahead of them, in the small hallway, were the pitiful remains of the 9th man.
Oh.
Was that the bite of 87?
I wasn't expecting that one.
That's messed up.
Sorry, that's the only time I'll use that one.
That was the 9th man.
For a moment, Junpei froze. Try as he might, his eyes would not leave the corpse, and his feet would not leave the floor. 7, too,
I would hope
seemed
not.
paralyzed.
He's just like shuffling along.
Guys, you're only gonna get more blood on your shoes like that. Snake, on the other hand, seemed unconcerned. He walked calmly down the bloody hallway, and only stopped when he realized his companions were not following.
Oh.
How can you...
Well, do you intend to kill me? I assume you haven't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you?
He hadn't even bothered to turn around. His head was, at most, slightly cocked toward one shoulder.
Sorry.
Let's go.
Junpei
I mean,
and
it's not like
7...
you can see it.
Junpei and 7 looked at one another, nodded, and threw themselves through the door. As they did, a cold tone sounded from the left wrists of all 3 men. 7 and Junpei looked down at their bracelets. On both of them, and on Snake's, a red skull had flickered to life.
Damn it! The countdown started!
That looks pink to me.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, that's definitely
pink.
pink. That's like Danganronpa blood pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had scarcely processed this information when... With a metallic slam, the numbered door behind them swung shut.
Shit, the door!
There's no turning back now. And if we don't manage to find the deactivation device...
Hey, where is the dead?
The fear and urgency in Seven's face reflected what all three of them felt.
How the hell should I know? Stay calm. Look around you.
Okay, I get it.
Junpei spun around, searching desperately for the dead.
Ah,
He found it easily enough. It was on the wall, next to the closed door labeled 5.
Found it. Right here.
As he yelled, he struck the scanner with his hand. The other two scrambled to follow suit. As soon as they finished, Snake threw the lever down.
Well, it looks like it stopped.
Safe! As he spoke, Junpei wiped the sweat from his forehead with a trembling hand.
Goddamn thing's gonna give me a heart attack.
A muscle stood out in Seven's neck, and the corners of his mouth were twitching.
Jumpy, are you all right? Are you guys okay?
They could hear anxious voices, muffled but distinct, from the other side of the door.
Yeah, we're fine.
the detonators have been deactivated.
They heard relieved sighs, and even through the door, the three men could feel the tension disperse.
All right, we're moving on. Be careful, okay?
Okay.
Sure thing.
And they're gone.
They heard footsteps moving away, and before long, they were alone again.
Now.
Junpei looked around.
Doesn't look like we can go any further this way.
The hallway ended roughly 20 or 30 feet from where they stood.
Maybe this wall can be moved. Or not. It's not budging.
Hey, there's a door over there.
Why would moving the wall be your first thought? To the left, however, was a wooden door that looked positively inviting by comparison. In the middle of it was a plaque that read First Class.
A first-class cabin, huh?
Well, it seems like it.
Let's have a look then, shall we? All right then.
I have a
Let's
vague
go.
recollection of this one.
Yeah.
I
Without-
need you to poke the bed several times.
I
Yes.
just played this one, so I have a
Oh,
fresh recollection.
I think I know what you want me to see. I think I've seen that before. Without hesitation, Snake opened the door and stepped inside. Seven followed closely behind him. Junpei moved to follow them as well, but
Oh.
he stopped just short of the threshold and looked back, not knowing why.
I don't want to look, but...
Lying in the small hallway was a man's body, or at least what was left of it. He'd tried hard to avoid looking at the grisly scene, but it just wouldn't leave his mind.
It's so horrible. I can't even tell what's what.
What had once been a man's internal organs now looked like so much vomit. I'm surprised you haven't vomited! As though something had chewed up and spit out the better part of his torso. It was hideous, but worse still, it was cruel. It was hard to believe the thing on the floor had once been human. The black pool of thick blood, the lumps of glistening flesh spread across the floor, the awkward, twisted tangle of shredded intestines, the head wrenched to some grotesque, unnatural position.
He'd been wearing these.
The man's glasses lay next to his head. The lenses were cracked, and the frame bent and distorted. And next to the glasses lay a bracelet, the number 9 still displayed on its face.
The bracelet's off. Oh wait, Zero did say.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. More likely, reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the paraxatic wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
The bracelet comes off when you're dead. Oh, but what the hell's the point of getting it off when you end up like this? Oh, just imagining how it must have happened. This was a human.
Suddenly, Junpei felt his stomach convulse and a knot of muscle gripped his throat. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna puke. Oh, I gotta get out of here.
Spoke too soon!
He clapped his hands over his mouth and ran to the first-class cabin. The atmosphere changed immediately. The room was gorgeous, and despite the apparent age of the ship, none the worse for wear.
Where did they...
He looked around. Seven and Snake were nowhere to be seen. There were 2 doors on the right side of the room. He opened the one on his right and went through.
Through here?
On the other side of the door was a short hallway. He jogged down the hallway, opened the door at the other end, and peeked through. There they were, to his right, busy examining something.
What's up?
He stepped through the door and walked toward them.
Check this out. We found this thing here on the door.
The red light's on. Does that mean it's locked?
Sure
So
looks
I would
like
assume.
it.
Is there any other way out?
We looked around a little. Other than this door, we didn't find anything.
So you're telling me that unless we can open this door...
Yes. We won't be going anywhere.
Junpei stepped away from the door and looked around the room.
This looks like a bedroom.
Then the other room is probably a living room. Or the closest you can get to one on a ship.
All right, let's find a way to open this door. Come on, guys.
And we have a fresh new escape room.
Seek a way out.
Alright, let's do this.
Woohoo!
We.
Now, I know Ike wants me to look at the bed.
You must look at the bed.
Oh, yes.
A bed with a canopy. I've seen things like this in movies and stuff, but never in real life. True, you don't see too many these days. I can't see the details, obviously, but I imagine it's one of those princess beds Clover is so fond of. Clover wants one of these? Yeah.
So look at her.
And look at this! I would love something like this. Yes. She wants a princess bed. Didn't I say that? You think it doesn't suit her? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Ah, Junpei. Judge her by appearances, will you? And, well, you should not. Large bed with a canopy. Man, this makes me miss my own bed. And sleep.
Me too.
Me whenever I'm not asleep.
Yeah. Is it not?
It's not this bed.
It's a different bed. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Let's take a look at everything else while we're here. It's a small round chair. Looks like it probably goes to the vanity. White desk. Feels kinda fancy. Oh, hello. Haha. Excuse me. There we go. Score plate. We got music.
remember, you can also search things.
Yes. See, this feels like glass. A rectangular plate of glass. Had to sneeze. Is there something written on the surface? Yeah, it's a sheet of music with a couple of A notes. Just A's? Yeah, that's it. Kinda weird, huh? Well, Junpei knows something that I don't, and that is how to read sheet music.
Apparently.
I know how to read it.
It took Junpei by surprise. Snake, usually so calm and collected, suddenly began to move. He stared about the room almost frantically, clearly looking for something. No, Junpei thought, not staring. After all, he's blind. Blind or not, Snake was clearly attempting to do something. At last, Junpei could no longer contain his curiosity.
What's wrong? You got weird all of a sudden.
Snake waited a moment before answering.
I heard something strange.
Something strange?
Ah, well, never mind. It doesn't seem to be anything suspicious. I don't wish to toot my own horn, but my auditory senses are considerably more advanced than those of most humans. I notice even the slightest of noises.
Right. Are you gonna tell me you can hear a needle drop from a mile away?
No, such a thing would be impossible. However, by listening to the sound of footsteps and breathing, as well as sound echoing off the environment, I can locate most objects.
Oh yeah, that's right. When Clover fell on the big staircase a little while ago, you were at her side immediately. So that was...
Yes, I could hear it happening. In fact, I can run quite fast. Certainly as fast as you. And should someone attempt to start a fight with me, I am quite confident that I could defeat them.
Oh, really?
That's an asshole sometimes. I love him.
Junpei was somewhat taken aback by this revelation. He stared at Snake, skeptical.
You don't believe me, do you? Care to give it a try? I must warn you, you'll no doubt regret it. Well, I suppose that's enough playing around. Let's resume our search, shall we?
With a small, self-satisfied smile, Snake turned and walked away from Junpei. Alright, take a look at this. So this is the locking thing. Junpei, that is called a lock.
Yeah,
It's-
very articulate.
It's flashing red. That's usually not a good sign. Is that a microphone? It looks like a satellite dish. Let me see. Well, judging by the feel of it, I would guess that we are meant to produce some sort of sound. And this device will sense it and unlock. Okay. It's totally a table with a mirror. Ah yes, you know, that sort of thing is known as a vanity. Were you aware of that, Junpei? Of course, vanity also refers to self-love, conceit, and narcissism. As such, you could say that every day, when a woman looks into one of these, she is staring at her own conceit and narcissism. Doesn't that strike you as terribly sad?
No.
Anything else? Antique vanity, nothing in the drawer, totally empty. Okay, well, what's this? This isn't a score.
It's
No,
a
it
baguette.
isn't. Is this a map of the ship? A map? There's a map of the ship here? Yeah. Then I imagine it will prove very helpful. You'd best hold on to it, Junpei. Okay. It's now possible to use the map screen. A piano keyboard. What is Snake doing? He can't play, can he? This piano. There's something amiss with the keys. You mean it's out of tune or something? No, not that. It's properly tuned, just... Well, the sounds are clearly purposefully different. The C key doesn't yield a C, but rather a different note entirely, so they're all out of order? Same goes for the D keys. They play some other note. Huh, why do you think it's like that? Isn't it painfully obvious? Zero modified it in some way. This piano, you see, is part of one of the puzzles Zero has set for us. Perhaps if we play the keys in the correct order, something will happen. In other words, we need to play a song on the piano. I believe so. window. There's an iron plate nailed to it. It's a white desk. Snakes rubbing it. This is a high quality desk. Teak or perhaps mahogany? Wow, how can you tell? Oh, I have my ways.
God.
What a loser.
He's like taking every opportunity to be a show off.
Literally.
Seems a little fancy. Okay. It's a heavy piece of paper that's been folded in half. It has score printed on the front of it. Score. That's gotta mean musical score. If that's true, then the score we just found was probably in here. At least, at some point.
Now pick it up.
This is some sort of antique desk. Makes sense though, I guess. This whole room's full of antiques. You could get a nice handful of cash for all the stuff in here. It says score on this paper. I guess you put sheet music in it. Okay, I guess it's not important. An old-fashioned desk adds a little class to the room. Somebody spent a lot of time carving the legs of this chair. It'll snap like a twig if Seven sits on it, though. Mind your own business! It's a chair. Sure is. There's an iron grate in front of the fireplace. There's something behind it. There sure is. Fireplace. Huh. Don't see one of these too often. Aren't a lot of people these days with real fireplaces with real fireplaces and real fires.
Yeah, most of them are gas now, or the fireplace will be converted to use these little wooden pellets.
This couch looks just big enough for 3 people. Looks perfect for me. What? Perfect for an elegant gentleman like myself.
Because dressed like that.
The couch looks a lot more elegant. Hey, there's something you aren't saying. Never mind. The couch does look pretty elegant. Doesn't really go with 7, though.
Rude.
Mean to him.
Well, if he was dressed differently.
I get it. You're gonna use this space, right? That's pretty clever, Junpei. We just gotta fill this thing with water.
And remember, there was a bathroom on the floor plan.
I forget that I can do this. So, bathroom. And there's water in the tub. The bathtub's full of gross, cloudy water.
Drink it. Drink it.
Drink it! The forbidden water! Alright. Shouldn't be too hard to fill this vase up. We have a vase filled with water. And there we are in the mirror. What a pair. A college kid and a terrifying giant of a man in a beanie. Stuck in a cramped bathroom. This beast of a man.
Junpei?
Junpei? Do you have something you want to say? What would my parents say?
He's having an awakening.
Something wrong, Junpei? You looked real sad all of a sudden. No, nothing. Well, the sink's clean. Any water? Nothing's coming out. We've got the faucet on all the way, but I can't hear anything. Hang on. Testing, testing. Hey, it's great to see you all here. I just flew in from New York and boy are my arms tired. Yes, thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. That's not a mic, 7. It's just a shower head. What? What the hell?
You get there, 7?
Now go back to the room you were in.
And
Remember, there was fire.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to get back there. Alright, time to put this fire out. About time, buddy. Let's do it. Here we go. Haha! Good job. Another success. That fire didn't stand a chance. Alright, I'll just pull this out now. Don't want to get burned, so let's pull down the sleeves. I would have maybe waited a few minutes.
Oh yeah, see if you can combine them.
Yeah, it's a ceramic plate of some kind. Looks like a blank sheet of music. Nope. Does the order matter? No. Okay. As Junpei tucked the plate into his pocket, Seven cried out and stumbled, his balance lost. You okay, buddy? He threw out a hand and caught the wall in time to steady himself and avoid the floor, but his face was flushed and he looked startled.
Hey, 7. What the hell was that? Are you alright?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. I just felt a little dizzy, that's all.
7 rubbed a couple of fingers across his brow and then shook his head as if to clear it.
What the hell is wrong with me? First memory loss, now I'm getting dizzy for no reason.
Memory loss?
Junpei couldn't hide the surprise in his voice. 7, for his part, seemed unconcerned.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up. Didn't realize I hadn't told you.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're talking about amnesia, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, why are you an amnesiac? What happened to you?
He doesn't know, Junpei! Junpei, you can't just ask people why they have amnesia.
They won't remember in the first place.
If I knew that, I wouldn't be one, would I?
Oh.
Thank you, 7.
I guess that's true.
Junpei paused for a moment and stared at 7.
Are you telling the truth?
Huh?
Well, you look pretty calm for somebody who doesn't remember anything. If you've really got amnesia, shouldn't you be, like, upset or confused or something?
Well, sure. I mean, I was pretty confused when I woke up down on D-Deck. But that was a while ago. I've had some time to get used to it. After a while, I figured it wasn't worth the trouble of worrying about it. After all, why worry about something I can't change? Well, people usually don't stay amnesiacs forever. I figure it'll work itself out eventually.
But that's it?
That's it. Alright, that's enough talking for now. Let's get back to work.
7 gave Junpei a look the younger man wasn't sure how to interpret and turned to walk away.
How are you fine with something like that?
Somehow, though, Junpei didn't find his reassurances very reassuring. Okay. It's a toilet. Doesn't seem to be anything in the toilet or the tank. Damn it, when are they gonna let us do a Silent Hill and make Junpei shove his hand down the toilet? There's some toilet paper on the wall there. Nothing that looks suspicious. Okay, what is the point of this room? There's nothing here.
Can you look in the toilet bowl thing, the top, the tank.
bowl?
Not the bowl, the tank.
Oh, okay.
It's all one thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure there's a reason for it somewhere, sometime.
What do we got in our inventory? I haven't been paying attention.
These.
Okay, we got those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to go break up
hello.
a cat fight.
This safe is locked. It's one of those dial locks. Doesn't
Mash
have a
it.
key. We just need to get the dials in the right place and it'll open. Did you find anything, Seven? Nope. How about you, Snake? I also found nothing. Wow, you guys are so helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's C. So we have A and C. No B.
So obviously we need a B.
Yeah.
A
leather
question.
suitcase.
Oh, go ahead with this. I'll ask after.
There's nothing inside. I can tell by the weight, and it makes no noise when shaken. Alright.
Okay, you put out the fire, yes?
Yeah. That was where we got this.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one was in there.
It's a leather suitcase. Unfortunately, there's nothing inside. Oh, there's another room that we haven't gone in.
The door on the left.
Yeah. G. Oh, it's the notes on it. Okay.
Yup.
This is a suitcase made of leather the color of rich mahogany. Well, shoot. Looks like there's nothing in it. It's a leather suitcase. Dang, nothing in there.
Have you been looking at the lights and everything? Like, you can click on a lot of shit.
Yeah. Okay. There are a couple of lights up on the wall.
Everything has dialogue, which is fun.
Yeah.
Hey, can you poke that thing in the back?
The board or window or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I can't get this one.
Okay.
Have you poked the piece of paper on the table?
Yes.
Several times.
Several times.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Have you touched the chairs?
Hey, Junpei, where are you going? Didn't we come out of that door? No point to going back there. All that's out there are a locked numbered door and a dead body, or what's left of it. Yeah. Okay. There's a cover for a musical score sitting on the table. A chair, huh? Yep, it sure is a chair. That chair looks nice. Mind if I take a load off? I think you'd be doing the opposite. Mean to him! The chair does look pretty comfortable. An old-fashioned desk. Blah, blah, blah. There are a couple of lights on the wall here. Nothing more to say about that.
What about the light on the table?
It's just
it's
with
all
the
part of
desk.
table. Okay, cool.
There was once a vase on this table. No longer.
Go into the bathroom with the tub.
This faucet must be for putting water in the bathtub. Oh, there's a plug on the end of the chain. Alright, why don't we just drain this water? Yeah, good plan. Alright, where's that thing? A good tug ought to be enough to get it out. Huh? D. Lights, huh? Nope, doesn't look like there's anything hidden there. Okay. So there has to be something in here somewhere.
Toilet paper.
Look, there's a hand coming out of the toilet. Just a joke there, kid. Not funny, man. I'm too old for this shit. God, this is a problem many older men struggle with, but there's help.
Okay, answer the
Toilet paper. Clean bathroom. There's nothing in the toilet bowl or the tank.
I don't think there's actually anything in here.
Then what is the point of it?
It's because there should be a toilet in the room. So much media forgets the existence of the bathroom.
That is true. It's a rectangular plate of some sort and made of glass, it seems. It's got a music staff and a couple of G notes on it, but nothing else. G. Glass rectangle, where did you find this? It was sitting in the bathtub under the water. Really? Underwater. Yes, yes. Well, this feels like glass. A rectangle of glass. Transparent, I assume? I can feel something printed on the surface. What is it? A sheet of music with some C notes on it. Seems like I will need all of them. Let's what?
So have you investigated the piano?
Yes, a bit. I don't know if there's anything more with the piano, but...
Because where would you put a score?
Yeah, an upright piano. From the feel of the wood, it must be quite old. Music stand seems as good a place as any to put this music we found. Just gotta put the ceramic plate on the bottom, and then stack the glass plates on top of it. Alright, good. Sweet. Now I can play the music. Okay, I thought there would be more. Junpei, would you be so kind as to play the piano? I am unable to, you see. Yes, we do see. And you don't. I'm sure I needn't tell you, but the keys on this piano are not what you might expect them to be. C won't be C, D won't be D, and so forth. You must listen carefully to determine which keys to strike. You think I can recognize what note is what?
So it shows you. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay, because the only piano note I could recognize is a G.
Yeah, because the way that it does it, you just have to like get it in sequence once flawlessly, and it shows you your errors every time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You must listen carefully to determine which keys to strike. Do you understand? Yeah. Alright, let's give this a shot.
Click a key.
No. Ah. Oh my god. Okay. That. Oh, wait. I can read. Definitely. This one, and try this? No.
Do you want some assistance?
No, it... Okay, so
So look at the first 4 notes.
Yeah, that's...
And look at all the rest of the notes in the staff. They're all the same 4 notes.
Oh, okay.
So you would use the same 4 keys.
Okay, I see, I see. Yep. Need to, like, block off.
An
my
easy way
sight.
to do it would be you assign the first note is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just go by that.
I am...
You want me to...
No, I'm like... I'm like, I need to block off the other keys in my vision.
Oh, yeah.
Three, 2, 1.
Yes. You're doing it.
2, 3, 4.
Yes!
Yay!
Did it!
Woo! Oh, wait,
Solved
wait,
my piano puzzle.
Yeah, I as someone who knows music, that puzzle pisses me off. Because I know the intervals, and so like I'm trying to like look at this and be like, I hate this.
And we're done. Music is not my forte. Wait, what was that noise? Junpei, we did it. Looks like it worked. I heard something unlock over by the exit. Let's go. Good plan. Stand. Bow. Be seated. Well, I guess he hasn't forgotten that. At least Snake thinks it's funny. Yes, I suppose that was the classroom bell, wasn't it? I don't imagine that's what Zero was thinking of, however. No, Zero almost certainly meant to suggest Westminster, not middle school. Westminster? The palace in London that plays host these days to the Houses of Parliament. You've heard of Big Ben, the famous clock tower, yes? Big Ben plays that very collection of notes on the hour. London.
Yeah, the Westminster chime sequence.
Ah, capital of England, huh? At any rate, the door is now unlocked. Let's leave this place immediately. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, let's go.
You found it!
Found it!
You found it!
We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay!
He came out of the door and into a long, straight hallway.
Another hallway? Hmm?
He paused for a moment and turned around to look behind him.
That should do it.
7 was bent over, apparently doing something to the door.
What's he up to?
Wedging something into the door. Junpei had spoke more or less to himself, but apparently 7 had heard anyway. The larger man stood up and turned to Junpei.
I was just putting one of those plates in there. It ought to keep the door from locking again. Now we can come back here anytime we want, right?
Ah, why would you want to come back here?
In case we need to. Snake was a reasonable one. 7 thought about it for a moment before he answered.
I might like to play a little piano.
Piano?
Come on, let's get moving. We aren't out of this yet.
Without waiting for an answer, 7 started off down the hallway.
Well then.
Snake shrugged, sighed, and quietly followed 7. I mean, In any case, it just seems like a smart idea to keep the doors from locking, just in case.
Yep.
That's a lie, Junpei thought to himself.
Can't say I could ever imagine Seven playing the piano. He couldn't use the piano in there anyway. The keyboard's a mess. But why would he want to leave the door unlocked then? I have no clue.
Hey, wait for me!
Junpei frowned, took one last look at the door, and then walked away towards his companions. After some time in the hallway, they emerged into a larger, more open area.
Whoa, a metal grate?
A large metal grate, like the door of a jail, divided it in half.
Why is this thing...
They shook it for a while, but as they had expected, it did not move.
Figures.
Are those elevators over there?
No way to know if they're working or not from here. Oh, there's a door just to the left of this grate.
Unfortunately, however, it was locked and refused to open.
Sounds like it's locked.
Yep.
Junpei took a moment to examine the left side
Stairs
of the
leading
room.
down.
They're blocked by the grate, though.
But this here seems accessible.
So we can open it?
Nah, I think it's locked too. Look.
In the center of the door was a small keyhole. Next to the keyhole, a small symbol had been carved into the metal.
What's this mark? The female symbol.
He wasn't quite sure what to make of it. Snake, naturally, was somewhat more sure.
Ah, the Venus symbol, I imagine. Do you recall the similar symbols near the large central stairway? They reference many of the solar bodies.
Oh, that's right. The Sun, Saturn, and Earth.
So, as you can see, that one is likely.
Not the woman symbol, but a Venus symbol.
So I assume.
Hold on. Where's 7?
While they had been
Playing
discussing
piano.
the symbols, Junpei now realized 7 had slipped away. His absence now felt, Snake and Junpei turned to look
there
for
he
their
is,
missing
down
companion.
that hallway.
7 had left them to head down the hallway extending to the right of the stairs.
This way, Snake. Follow me.
Junpei grabbed Snake to lead him in the right direction, and they both headed off after 7. Before long, the 3 of them stood in front of a door.
I wonder if this door will...
It was a French
How about
door.
that? It opens.
Junpei tested the door and realized that, unlike so many others that they'd encountered, it was unlocked. Almost as though he was afraid it would suddenly lock itself, Junpei threw the door open. He stepped inside.
Oh, wow.
It took only a moment for Junpei to take in his new surroundings.
Is this some kind of casino?
Sure looks like one.
Before Junpei could comment further, a noise from behind made him turn around. Snake was shaking the door they'd just come through.
In that room.
Well, this is troubling.
As 7 and Junpei watched, he threw his hands up in frustration and kicked the door for good measure.
It seems we are once again locked in.
There was no reason to panic, however.
Even if that door was open, it's not like we had anywhere to go that way.
So we must find another exit then.
All right, guys, let's split up and search this room. Come on, no dawdling. Let's go. Quickly now.
Spurred to action by 7's words, Junpei and Snake began to examine the room.
Here we go again.
Yep. Fancy schmancy casino. 5 of spades. There's nothing on the table anymore. There sure isn't. Standard run-of-the-mill chairs. Okay.
You shit.
Hey, Junpei, I just found this on the shelf. A playing card? 4 of spades. That's a lot of expensive glasses. Even cheap drinks would taste great out of glasses like these.
There's another card right there, by the way.
Yeah, I see. There's something on the counter. Looks like a card. A playing card. These 7. Are these all gonna be spades? Well, will you look at that? Someone left a bottle of booze here. Don't mind if I do.
God.
Oh, that hits the spot. Feels like my throat's burning. Damn, he really drank it. We don't even know how long it's been there. Is now really the time for that, 7?
It's always the time for that.
Those are some strange-looking chandeliers. They look kinda like the UFOs from that movie. Michelle's Farm Tools? What the hell kind of movie is that? Check out that stained glass. How beautiful! What? Huh? Stained glasses, colored pieces of glass, placed together in a frame. As I've said many times before, I need only touch it to know. I can at least discern the basic structure. I mean, stained glass does have quite a bit of texture to it, so... Stained glass is recessed into the wall. All I can see in there is lighting fixtures, though. Probably means the stained glass doesn't look outside. 3 of spades.
Oh. Is this a blackjack puzzle?
It is not.
Oh, right. No, it's another digital root puzzle.
Wow, this place is like super amazing. What's this place for? Probably for playing Baccarat. It looks a little off, though. Yeah, look at the middle of the table. There's something mounted on it, see? Suddenly, 7 began to speak.
Ah, Baccarat. You ever played Junpei?
Junpei shook his head. He'd barely even heard of the game.
No, never.
Alright then, how about I explain the rules to you a bit?
Yeah, I've really only heard of it in, like, ads for those gambling apps.
I think it's also the game that James Bond plays. That's the bitch.
Ah.
You've got the banker and the player. The whole point is that you guess which one's gonna win. And whether the banker or the player wins, it all depends on their hands. The way each hand works is different from other games too. You see, you take the number from the ones place after you add up the value of all your cards. Whoever gets the number closest to 9 wins. If your number is smaller than your opponent's, you lose.
Oh, of course this is what we're playing, then.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the explanation. Got it? Well, actually, there's a lot more to it. Strategy, details, that sort of stuff. But what I just told you sums up the core of the game pretty well. The single digit of the sum of all the cards you have. The strongest hand is a 9, and the weakest hand is a 0. You just ignore the number in the 10 spot. Do you get it?
Yeah.
He hadn't been asked
it's not
for
exactly digital root.
It's close. It's close enough. But 7's explanation, rushed though it had been, was helpful.
Well, maybe half of it. Enough. I got a chance at winning the game if I played now.
However, we have no way of knowing if the puzzle in the Baccarat table makes use of those rules, and if it does, in what manner.
Then I guess we try everything.
Feeling more confident, if only slightly, Junpei approached the Baccarat table. Okay, so I can see the playing card behind the thick glass case. It's the 8 of spades. So... Ace 7. Are we really supposed to play Baccarat? It's a Baccarat table. What the hell else would we do? Stop worrying about it. It's real simple. What's the opponent's hand? Well, there's an 8 in that glass case. Alright, then that's your opponent's number. If that's the case, what 3 cards do we need to get that number? 3 cards. There are a couple of indentations with white lines around them, right? Those mean we gotta put down 3 cards. So, place 3 cards here and defeat the opponent's 8. That's what I've got to do, I guess. Yeah, I think so. Something tells me those aren't the only rules. Alright, let's give it a shot. Before I start, I better make sure I've got the rules straight. 3 empty indentations, I just gotta pick a card and play it. Figure if I put them in the right spots, something ought to happen. Alright, let's give this a try. I do not have cards that will work for that. Find more cards. From the looks of it. We will return to you, Baccarat table. It says 1 on the plate. So I've got the symbols for heart, spade, and diamond here. The coin slot. The slot machine has a pretty old-fashioned design. It looks well maintained and probably still works.
I think you gotta find coins to play the slot machines.
Yeah. Huh, a light. Wait, did Snake just tense up? Hey, what's up? No, never mind. No need to worry. Huh? This one has a 2. And this one has a 3. It says lock. It says 9. Yeah, it looks like that cover's hiding something. If this is the cover, then maybe it opens up. Probably does. It seems the card is attached to the panel, and attached very well, it seems. If you don't mind, what sort of card is this? It's a playing card, the Ace of Spades, in fact. Alright, so it looks like we'll need the 8 to open that. Oh wait, lights glow yellow, filling the room with their light. There's firewood in the fireplace. Oh, hello. Didn't think I'd find a card here. The 6. There's a weird looking thing floating in here. Let's look up by the lights. Wait, when those 2 lights are turned on, when those 2 lights turned on, I heard something from the bottom of the fireplace. What was that? I heard something down there. Coin bag! We got coins! Now it's time for slots. Alright, let's put a coin from that bag in here. What happened? I heard an odd noise. Well, to be honest, I don't know. I pressed some of the buttons and smacked the machine once or twice, but nothing happened. Oh. Looks like the coin got stuck. Oh dear. The coins are stuck in there, but good. This machine won't be working anymore. Damn it. Alright, let's drop this coin in the coin slot. Come on, you little bastards, I only need one of you.
I think you need it to match up with the thingy that was on top of the fireplace, which means the first one needs to be a club.
Yeah. Bruh. This is not easy.
So would you like another hint?
This is a tough one. And what is so tough, if I might ask? Hitting these reels just right. The timing is, well, it's not easy. I don't believe you need to hit them just right. Huh? a look at that again. Oh, it won't. No, wait. There we go. Okay, so it was Club Diamond Heart.
You have to click the coin slot again.
Oh. Heart, spade, and diamond. What do you mean? The symbols on the reels. They're the same as the playing card symbols that I saw over the fireplace. But this is different. Junpei, are the reels the only place where you see the symbols? Huh? Don't you think the symbols might be found in other places as well, apart from the reels? Damn it, time to try again. Club Diamond Heart. Thank you for putting that in chat.
Why don't you try pushing the buttons in the order of the symbols that we need?
Yay!
777! Yes! And I think I hear something unlocking in there. Impressive, Junpei. It would appear to be unlocked now. There is something akin to a drawer in the bottom part of this machine, yes? That is a pickup drawer for dividend. Probably the lock for the drawer got unlocked. Please open it if you would.
God, I want to give him a noogie.
What is it? Is there something in there? Yeah, playing card. And this... a key with the Venus symbol on it. Excellent, Junpei. Now we will be able to open the gate. Then we just need to figure out how to get out of this room. Correct. Come on, Junpei, hurry up. And he's off. There was a playing card and a Venus key. Better put the key in my pocket for later. As for the card... that is the number 2.
I am cursed for the fact that I keep hearing you say Venus with a B and not a V.
Hey, my dad was stationed in Germany, and he had to hear people pronounce the V in Venus as a W.
Oh, Venus?
Yes.
God.
A lot of glasses on that shelf. Doesn't look like there's anything else back here, though. Okay, so what do we have? We have 2, 3, 4... that's not the 3, that's the 5, but we do have a 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh.
And
Well,
the
2, 3, and
the ace
2, 3,
is
and
over
5
here.
equal 8, don't they?
Yeah. Here's the card slot. Looks like we need to put a playing card in there. Alright, let's give it a shot.
I was thinking you take your cards and you put 8 down on the table.
Didn't we need to beat the... Hey, it's the line. I'm shocked and appalled that guessing at random has not yielded better results.
There it is.
Yeah.
I love him. I love him
But,
so much.
I thought we needed to beat the 8, but yeah. It's the Baccarat table. There's the glass case in the center of it. Yeah. Okay.
Well, in that case, we just need to
It's not-
do 6 instead of 5.
It's not... Hello?
You can't click the middle part, or it's just that's weird.
Okay, there we go. Before I start, I better make sure I've got the rules straight. 3 empty indentations. I just gotta pick a card and play it.
No, the rules are gay.
Put them in the right spot, something ought to happen. Alright, let's give this a try. Okay, so... okay, yeah, if we want to beat 8, then 2, 3, that's 5, and 4. Okay, and we get the 8. Alright, if I just put down these 3 cards. Yes, open for me. Great, you did it, Junpei. You think it's telling us to take the 8 card? Come on, let's grab it. Alright, let's take this card. Mine now. The 3 cards I put down are stuck to the table. They won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And then we take that and come over here and put the 8 in here. And in you go. Hey, alright, it opened up. It seems we have another device to contend with, yes? There are 3 slots in this one. Let's see. 3 slots for cards. And there's a 9 right below them. So that probably means we gotta make 9 with 3 cards we put in the slots, right? Just like what we did over at the Baccarat table. Alright, let's give it a shot. Well, I only have 3 left, so... but they will work. Alright, so I put all the cards we had left into the slots. This is 11, 18, that's a 9. What happens now? Is that... Yes, I did hear something from the exit. Excellent work, Junpei. Wonderful. It seems the exit is unlocked. Let's go. Freedom! Junpei, where are you going? Isn't the exit unlocked now? Yes, yes, yes. No, I'm not gonna drink the booze. 7. Well, I'm not gonna let you beat me to it. For one, you're way too young to drink liquor. I turned 21 a while ago. God, just leave my medicine alone, alright? Junpei, we must leave before 7 goes insane. I think it's a little late for that. Okay, here, door. Alright, let's go. You found it!
You found it.
Junpei and his companions ran out of the casino and into a large open room. A room, in fact, that they had been in once before. There was little to surprise them here. They already knew what their next step had to be.
This way.
The iron gate still stood in place, locked tight, blocking the stairway, and right in the center of it...
The keyhole with the Venus symbol.
Indeed.
The Venus key should work here.
Wasting no time, he pulled it out and shoved it into the keyhole. He turned it. With the distinctive sound of metal on metal, he felt the lock click open.
It sounds like it did. Alright, let's get this thing open.
No problem. Let me help with this one.
Junpei grabbed the handle on the left side, and 7 took the handle on the right. On Junpei's signal, they both pushed, and the gate creaked open.
It sounds as though you have opened it. We should be able to reach C deck now, I imagine.
Snake, are you gonna be alright? I mean, the stairs.
Please, do not do yourself the embarrassment of underestimating me. I would be unlikely to trip even if I were running backwards.
Good to hear. Let's move.
At 7's words, they leapt onto the stairs and jogged quickly down them.
God, he's still a loser.
In no time at all, they found themselves on C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
We should check the next deck down, just in case.
When he reached the water, he called back up to Snake and 7.
Just what I thought. D-deck is completely underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The surface of the water below them was flat, like a mirror.
I'm just glad the water level hasn't changed much.
Back to the C deck then.
Now, how about we check out what's here?
They began searching around and taking stock of what was on C deck.
There are 2 elevators over there, which means it's probably the same upstairs.
There's a card reader between them, and another weird mark.
Hey, check it out. It's the symbol for Lotus.
This joke.
Here we go again.
See? It's got the woman symbol, and then it's got the devil horns, right?
God.
Yeah, I see it.
Are you 12? Are you 12?
Yeah,
That was a pretty good one, kid.
he's 21. Just turn it around.
12, 21, same digital route. 7 tousled Junpei's hair in what he likely thought to be a friendly manner. Junpei feared his neck might break, even though it was clear 7 had kept his strength in check.
Oh, whoa, would you watch it, man? Whoa, that hurts. You're gonna break my neck.
What are you talking about? The human body ain't that weak. Maybe this'll toughen you up, huh?
If we were looking for a devil, we've got one right here.
Thankfully, Snake interrupted. After Junpei's observation, he'd gone over to examine the card reader.
This is a Mercury symbol. The marks you mistook for horns are a stylized version of the wings and staff of Hermes.
Wings and a staff. Huh. So then, she beats you with the staff until you die and go to heaven. Sounds like Lotus, alright.
Fucking talk to her, except for once.
Seven.
7 shook Junpei's head even more vigorously, and the younger man began to feel as though his brain was being jostled about inside of his skull.
What brain?
Concussion counter +1.
That's what, 3 now?
Oh, that's too much. Oh, my head.
Junpei's stomach began churning uncomfortably.
Oh, I think I'm gonna puke.
Unless we can activate this device, I doubt the elevator will function.
In other words, we gotta find a key card with a Mercury symbol on it.
So I would assume.
Let's forget the elevators for right now. How about that hallway to the left?
Whoa, there's a bunch of doors.
There were a great many doors lining both sides of the hallway. They seemed to stretch on forever, and all 3 men suddenly felt very small.
Ah, shit. We're not gonna have enough time to check all these, are we?
Maybe we can come back here later. We should check out the other side. Let's head back.
To the right of the stairs, another hallway stretched out, reaching deep into the bowels of the ship.
To the right this time.
After a few moments of moving briskly down the hallway, they emerged into an area roughly the same size and shape as the one at the top of the stairs. On the left side of the room were 4 French doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Let's open them
The
up. starting
cha-cha
with the closest
slide
one
is
there.
playing in my head.
Okay, I'm on it.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
It isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thrilled to have found another unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw, and we are
we're
back
back.
in the hospital room.
The bedroom.
He simply stood, unable to speak. 7's eyes opened wide and his mouth gaped. After a few long moments, 7 at last managed to speak.
Hey, what is this place? It's so huge and empty.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on 7 and Junpei. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
Is this a hospital? The harsh scent in the air is reminiscent of antiseptic solution.
I think so. There are shelves in the center of the room with medicine and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them were emblazoned with large, single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Hey, why is that door between 3 and 7 blank? Does that mean anything?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yeah, good idea.
The three of them threaded their way through the beds toward the back of the room. Upon reaching them, they proceeded to investigate each door in turn, but to no avail.
Yep, locked. Just like I thought.
Naturally. After all, there are rules to the nonary game, and to allow these doors to open easily would violate those rules. Unless we can authenticate ourselves with the red, the numbered doors will...
Whoa, check this out.
Suddenly, Seven spoke up, interrupting Snake. The
Look at the
reds
red.
aren't working.
Nothing on it.
Huh?
Whoa. Who saw that
Don't
coming?
you remember the red back at the main staircase? If there wasn't anyone
It's like
in it, it said vacant
it's like
on
I'm
the
a
screen,
psychic
remember?
or something.
It's like you have ESPN or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
ESPN Sports.
But this one,
I meant like Mean Girls.
There's nothing.
I know.
Okay.
right? You think it's broken?
Only one way to find out.
No, nothing.
Junpei and the others put their hands on the panel, but nothing happened. The red refused to change. They tried pulling the lever, and still nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red on door 8 that seemed to be malfunctioning.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
I didn't think all of them would be malfunctioning.
What does it mean?
They've
It's
gotta be
almost
broken.
like it's not a malfunction. It's almost like it's on purpose.
Whoa.
Bastard. I didn't think Zero was the kind of guy who'd screw around with something like this.
Whoa, Zero's been prepared for everything so far, and you're saying he's gonna make a mistake now?
Well, that's the only thing I can think of. This thing ain't working at all.
While Junpei and Seven talked, Snake busied himself with examining the red. After a time, he lowered his hands and spoke.
It seems as if some of the internal hardware has been removed.
Internal hardware?
That is what I said. Take a look at the underside of this red, if you please.
The bottom?
Junpei obliged and bent over to look at the underside of the device.
Huh. There's
God
a
damn
thin
it.
slot here. I think it's a slot for something.
It
Probably
moved before I
electronic.
could screen cap a very specific part.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
The other two reds are the same. Something's been removed from all three of them.
I get it. So the reds aren't working because somebody pulled out their guts.
So I assume.
But why? And who? I mean, it really doesn't make sense.
Rearranged.
I have no
There.
idea. How on earth would I know something like that?
Sorry. No. I was gonna screenshot the part that said the bottom and then Junpei obliged and bent over.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Junpei has been learning many things about himself during
Yes.
all of this. Just then, they heard the sound of a door opening.
Oh, what now?
The three of them turned and saw... Akane! Oh no, Junpei thought. It's...
June!
She stopped short, surprised to see them, and was very nearly bowled over by the rest of her companions who were coming through the door behind her.
Ace! Santa! Clover! And Lotus!
Guess everyone's here.
Junpei and Seven were, for the moment, at a loss for words.
What are you guys doing?
Why are you...
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile. Almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the 9th man. Blah blah blah, we've read this before.
Yep.
And like, I don't know if there's gonna be anything slightly different in this part of it.
Well, you can.
Well,
it will automatically stop wherever there's new dialogue if you want to skip it.
Yeah.
And that's what we know.
If it doesn't start skipping, then it means that there is new dialogue.
Yeah. All right. With that, Junpei finished his own explanation.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
What about that big hallway? Maybe there's somewhere in there we might be able to go.
No, there's nothing there. The 5 of us had a quick look. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
It had one of those solar system mark things on it.
It was the Jupiter symbol.
Jupiter.
I wonder what it means.
Confusion seemed to be the consensus.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
No one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer an answer until 7 unexpectedly spoke up.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Yep. We went over this.
What is this gigantic?
The Gigantic.
Blah, blah, blah.
Is it not letting
She
you
was a
skip?
sister ship to the Titanic, built in the
Remember,
early
you
20th
tapped
century.
control twice.
Yeah, I'm doing that,
It's
and
probably
not
because
Titanic
it's
had
probably
two
because
sister
we did inherit.
They looked
go
exactly
through
the same.
a-
They intended to make her a passenger. The
route
British
to get
Navy took
here.
her over and made her at some point during the war. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't. What happened to her after that? One theory going around. Seemed like he'd been one of the... That trauma turned him in. Soon enough, the guy... Which was
love
impossible.
visual
The
novels.
Gigantic
Love
was-
how like
you're
2
saying this
lines
Lord
changed
Bourdain
makes it
bought this
a
ship?
different scene that you can't
Yeah,
skip.
At least I think I...
That's impossible.
Pipe down. What, that's it?
Proof?
Proof that this...
Well, this ship's got stuff.
Oh, for goodness.
No, I...
Like?
Well, I don't know.
I guess you're...
Yeah.
Yeah, and Junpei learned about that earlier, so he doesn't have anything to say about it there.
It sounds like the clock. 10, 11, 12. Huh, 12.
It's midnight.
Whoa.
It's midnight. Then we've still got
Let's get going.
What do you mean fun?
We've looked
Oh
everywhere in
no,
this room,
Junpei's turning back into a pumpkin.
but we haven't found anything.
Right.
That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well...
Uh-huh.
Wait.
Searching
Don't tell me
the
you mean-
hospital
Well, you already checked some of-
rooms.
We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total.
All right, then. That's 5 rooms we don't have to search.
Yeah, I sure hope Snake doesn't go missing.
Yeah.
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Lotus did not seem excited by the prospect.
Love her.
7 fidgeted nervously before responding.
Maybe?
After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with and in what order they would go. Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
All right, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes.
They also determined when they would return. Yep, the next time the clock sounded the time.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah. Sounds straight.
I'll shout if I find...
Sounds
I
straight.
hope we can find them with.
If we can't, then we'll just...
Right.
Then let's do this.
And off they go to search. However... And an hour later, nobody has found anything.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
Having fun with the soundboards, guys?
Yes.